And I just saw it in their eyes and they just broke down and they knew it already. They knew it. And I was like, I know that feeling. I know that feeling. I know that feeling. And it
Mhm.
brought me right there. Welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join 3 Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelly, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers! Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
We are talking about Real Housewives of Potomac Season 10 Reunion Part 1. We'll start out with a review of their dresses. So I love when they do a theme. I really think it makes the whole set look cohesive. I like that they
Yes.
did the horse theme because there were so
Yeah.
many horse activities this season. I love the ladies in red.
I think that they all looked beautiful in this color.
I do
All,
too.
in their individual shades. I think they all look beautiful in red, basically. I do like Kiarna and Stacy's shade of red a little bit better, but I like Wendy's dress the best. Sans the feathers.
Yes, I do not like the feathers.
Yeah.
I think I like actually Stacy's dress the best. I mean, it looks like it's extremely heavy,
Yes, all that beading, I would imagine.
all that beading. I think that Tia's was horrible. I'm
I feel
sorry to
like
say.
Tia's was a miss. I agree. I feel like Tia's was a miss. I I don't love I don't know what they call it. I'm sure there's a name for it, but when it looks like skin,
Right.
but
But
there's
it
really
wasn't.
material there.
Yeah, there's really fat. Like it looks like a cutout, but it's not. Like it's
Yeah,
really,
I'm not a
yeah,
fan of that. Even on Say Yes to the Dress, when I watch that and some of these dresses have that, some of them you can't see the material at all. Some of them it's just so apparent, and I feel like Tia's was so apparent.
yeah. I did too. I just didn't love it for her.
Yeah.
I also thought it was very interesting that when Stacey came out, Ashley said that, hers was a Nigerian designer. And Ashley said, "Oh, that's what I wore last reunion." And Andy's like, "The same dress?" She's like, "No, the same designer." And they showed Ashley's dress, and it was very similar
Very
to
similar.
Stacey's dress. And
Very,
I like
very
that.
similar.
I like that they do smaller designers and give them credit. I would have liked if she said the name of the
I
Nigerian
was just gonna
designer.
say, they had
Right.
this whole conversation, say the name of the designer for crying out loud.
Right.
And I
Exactly.
watched it on
Exactly.
Peacock, so normally you get a little bit more. They
I
didn't
did
say it.
too. I did
Yeah.
too. And I've been trying to do that with the reunion because, like you said,
Yeah,
we get a little bit more,
for
right?
sure.
So we start out with a scene from 2020 and the introduction of Wendy Osefo. And then we see some other clips of Dr. Wendy throughout the years. And then on October 9th, 2025, we see that Wendy was arrested on multiple fraud charges in Maryland. And October 16th, 1 week after the arrest, we are at Dr. Wendy's house. And Wendy and Eddie are sitting there and they're talking. And it's been a week and since the actual arrest. And Wendy, you can see she's distraught. She says she's like walking around the house. It doesn't feel
She's
like the
talking
same
very
house.
low. She's talking very slow. She's just you could tell she's in her head. I did notice, though, that big, gigantic rock on her hand, though. Did you notice that?
No, I didn't. I did not. I
The
did not.
ring on her hand, I can't even begin to imagine how many carats that diamond was. I feel like she should not have been wearing that during this filming scene.
No. Do you think it was real after all this? Like, how could it be real?
It's a great question. I don't know. It's a
I
great
didn't see it.
question.
Now I'm
But
going to have to
I
go back and look at it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a big old ring, and I just thought, "Geez Louise, with all these allegations and everything they're saying, I don't think I wouldn't have worn any jewelry. I wouldn't have worn maybe some small stud earrings, that's it."
No, I totally agree. I mean, a lot of it has to do with designer bags and jewelry, expensive
Yeah,
jewelry.
yeah.
So, yeah, I wouldn't either. I mean, she says she feels like it's a bad dream, like she's crying while she's talking about it. While she was in the holding cell, Eddie said that he heard her talking to her sister on the phone, and she could hear Cam's voice, her daughter, and Cam was so excited to hear her mom, and she had no idea where she was because she's just a baby. I mean, she was just born in 2020, just before she started filming, and she said that she's scared for her kids because they're innocent, and then we find out I felt horrible about her son, Carter.
My gosh, that was terrible.
I mean, he's the oldest. When this happened, she was sleeping. She was taking a nap. Eddie came in and said, "The police are here." As soon as she realized what was going on, she immediately called her mom and sister and said, "Please get the kids from school." And they're spending the night at her parents', at her mom's house and her sister. I guess, I don't know if they live together or whatever.
They were both there.
Right. They were both there. But her oldest son is like, "This is not right. Like, what's going on? This isn't normal." So he has a phone. I mean, he's 11. So he looks on his phone and he sees everything. And like Wendy said, like, what really got her was the fact that he held this information and slept with it. Didn't mention it to her mom or her sister, went to school the next day, still holding this. And then when she picked him up, she could see it in his eyes. And when she told that story, it brought me back. I'll be honest with you, it brought me back to the time that we found out about our neighbor passing.
God.
Yeah, because
Oh,
I got the phone call. I knew it happened. I was waiting for him to get home. I was waiting for my kids to get home from school. I didn't know that Mark knew already and met them when they got off the bus before they walked into my house. And we had already planned to go to Wendy's after school and to get food. And we were at Wendy's and we got food. And then we got home and I just saw it in their eyes and they just broke down and they knew it already. They knew it. And I was like, I know that feeling. I know that feeling. I know that feeling. And it
mhm,
brought me right there. It totally brought me
mhm.
right there. And that's what Wendy said was like, she's promised that she'll never lie to her kids. And that's what she did say when they were going to BravoCon. You know, like we have to face hard things. Like this is something that's hard. We're gonna have to go through it. But she lets him know anytime something's gonna come out, anytime they go to court. So he's not blindsided. And that's what we want for our kids. But honestly, it hit me. It hit me right here because I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh my God.
yeah.
I know the feeling. I
Oh,
know the
yeah.
feeling."
Yeah, it brings you right back.
Yep, I know the feeling. It was a very real conversation, I thought, too, when Wendy said, like, "I'm not the same person. Like, I don't know if we're gonna make it through this," to Eddie, and Eddie's like, you know, he didn't he's like, "Listen, we've made it this far. We've made it 15 years. Like, I think we're gonna be okay. Like, we have to kind of, give this up to God."
Well, here's the thing with that question. Do you
Yeah,
think we're gonna make it through? Well, that depends. Was it
yeah,
these are all allegations, but
right,
was it one person's idea and the other person went along with it? Were you both on board with this? Was one
right.
person like, "Hell no, we shouldn't do this?" That's what it comes down to. It's just like, Teresa and Joe. Teresa claims she didn't know anything. Listen, you and I have differing opinions on that.
I don't
But
think she knew anything. I don't think she's that smart.
She they didn't make it because she does blame him for putting her in that position, and then listen, I'm not a Teresa fan, but the poor woman lost her mother 6 months after she got out of prison. She lost a whole year with her mother. I'd be furious. So, in that circumstance warranted, fuck yeah, like, "No, we're not gonna make this. I'm sorry." There's way too
Right.
much resentment. So, I think that's what it comes down to with Eddie and Wendy, like, if this is true, if the allegations are true, what circumstances was it under? And for her to ask him that question leads me to believe that they're guilty, doesn't it? I mean,
Well, I mean,
why would you even ask that question? Like, listen, if you're innocent, you're innocent. If you're innocent, you're gonna not gonna go to jail. You're not gonna this is gonna go away.
I don't know. I just think it's just so much. I mean, there's so many counts. There's 16 counts.
There's a lot going on here.
It's a
There's a
lot.
lot going on here.
I don't know. I agree with
I mean,
you. I
they
think it
what'd they
does.
say? Up to 10 years in prison?
Yeah, per count.
Oof.
Count. Um, But they do tend to merge it, like, they do tend to do it concurrently,
Right.
and it's interesting because very rarely do you see judges give people the maximum, but I just saw this very recently. I'm gonna bring up a recent local case. Not that it's the same case, but it was a local teacher that abused a child, a high school and middle school child, and she got the maximum, even though there's no priors. And the judge said the reason she got the maximum is because she was grooming, it was a repeat offense with multiple people, and she will do it again. She's going to do it again. And I feel like in a situation like this, even though this is their first offense, it is egregious enough that there could be a maximum sentence because very, very rarely when it's a first offense does anyone get the maximum. Very rarely.
Plus, they're public figures, and just like the Judices, this judge is they're gonna make an example out of them, because
Yeah.
if they give them any type of grace, the regular everyday Joe Schmo like you and I will think, "Well, hell, if the
Yeah.
Osefos got off for it." They're going to make
Yeah.
an example out of them. Mike the Situation. They're not letting these people slide just because they're celebrities. It's almost the opposite. So you're a fool if you were on any type of show, reality show or other, to commit any crime.
Yes, I agree. I totally agree. I agree.
I mean, you're a fool to commit a crime anyway, but
Yeah.
especially when you have a camera in your face.
Yeah. So then we see it's 3 months later and it's reunion day, and we see Ashley's there at 5:30 in the morning and she sees Karen's name on the door. She doesn't go in yet, but she's kind of excited to see her name. And Ashley's talking to Giselle while she's getting ready, and Giselle says she's looking forward to Wendy's State of the Union address. Giselle is coming hard. She really is coming hard.
She's a
She
miserable
really
cow.
is.
That's what she
She
is.
really is. So she's the first to walk out onto the set, which is called the Potomac Stables. And she sees Andy, and Andy says, "Well, you're sitting here next to Wendy." And she's like, "Well, am I supposed to hold her hand?" And Andy's like, "You do whatever you're comfortable with." But Wendy's in the first chair, and Giselle's sitting next to her.
I wish Giselle was all the way at the end. I think Giselle and Ashley should be both all at the end of their respective couches. They bring nothing. They show us nothing.
I agree. I agree. So then we see all the ladies are on the couch and they're like, "Okay, who are we missing? Okay, we're missing Wendy." And then Eddie actually walks her out to the set, which doesn't normally happen, gives her a
Mhm.
kiss, and then she goes and sits down. Andy starts out with saying that here we are on the 10th season and we have two OGs sitting here, referencing Giselle and Ashley. And he said that this show was created around a mom group that, talking to Giselle, you, Karen, and Charisse were in. And Giselle said, "No, Charisse was not."
I thought that was real interesting.
I did too, because I thought that Charisse was the one who was hit up by producers to start this, and she brought the other women in. Isn't that how you thought it was?
Absolutely, because if you'll remember, Charisse's husband was a coach at Rutgers, I think, at the
Rutgers.
time,
Yes,
and they were
basketball
going through a
coach.
very messy divorce.
Yes.
So I did think that she was the golden goose that they were looking at to
Yeah.
produce this show around. And was this the one? I believe this was the one that they didn't know it was gonna be a Housewives franchise. It was supposed to be, like, about etiquette. Wasn't Potomac the one that was supposed to be based on, like, etiquette, and that's why, like, Karen came in so strong with the, "You gotta do things this way," and
That could be. I don't honestly remember that specifically, but I do know that one of them was about that. It
Mhm.
definitely could be this one. It
Yeah.
definitely could be.
But I thought it was real interesting when Giselle said that Charisse was not in that mom group, and then she said when she met Ashley, she knew they had something special. She was horrible to Ashley, and so was Robin.
And so
So
was
she's
Karen, actually. Even Karen was. I mean, Karen was the nicest of the group to her.
Yeah, but they all thought she was a gold digger.
I mean, they weren't wrong. Were they
No,
wrong?
they were not wrong.
She does say she loves him. I mean, she got 2 children. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, listen, I think that Ashley liked to get her freak on when she was younger, and that's
Yeah,
clearly what Michael's into.
I think she still does.
Exactly, but I think at some point I don't believe much about Ashley Darby, but I do believe that once she wanted to start a family, she wanted to stop the threesomes and the swinging, and Michael wasn't ready to stop that, and I think that that's what catapulted their divorce.
I think so too. I agree with
Yeah,
that.
but
I
she
agree with
got those
that.
2 beautiful boys, so whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a win for her. It was a win. Andy said, "How is it filming to Ashley and Giselle? Like, how is it filming this season without Karen?" And, Ashley's like, "Well, it's kind of foreign." And Giselle's like, "Listen, I like to argue with Karen." And she does. Like, they do have this, like, back and forth
Love-hate.
banter. And she's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah," she's like, "She just wasn't there."
I
Then
can't believe
Andy
Wendy's
says,
been on the show for 5 years. Like, I can't believe Wendy's been on the show half the amount of time that the
"I
show's been
know.
on.
I know. I agree with you. I
Yeah.
agree with you." He then says hi to Angel and Tia. This season, they were the newbies, and he wants to know what their expectations were coming onto the show. And Angel said, "Well, my expectations was just to come and meet a new group of ladies and, maybe gain some friends." And Andy said, "Well, how did that go?" And she's like, "Well, it was a rough landing, and I had fun in the process," which I don't know that she did. I think she was just being kind of kind.
Mhm.
And then he asked Tia the same question, and she said, well, she had moved to the DMV during COVID, and she was really interested in just, like, meeting new people, and she thinks that she accomplished that. Okay. Um, he asked Stacy how she was doing for her second season. He wanted to know if she was experiencing the sophomore slump or the glow up, and she said a little bit of both. Listen, I think Stacy, I don't know. I still love her. I love her.
I do too, and I mean, they even caught her in a lie already. One I
Oh my
picked up
gosh,
on.
many
Many, but
actually.
one was, like, so clear, and, it's in my notes, but I'm here for Stacey and Wendy's friendship. Like, the fact that they go to great lengths to show that, like, last year, Giselle asked her about the cannabis lies, she said no, and just the fact that Wendy can be like, "We talked about it, we're cool. We're good." Like, I love that. I'm here for their friendship because it is what it is. None of these women are really friends outside the show. Giselle
It
and
is what
Ashley
it
are not
is.
friends outside the show. So, yeah, Wendy and Stacey, it is what it is. They're going to be allies, and I'm totally here for that because Stacey might be a liar, but I don't know, she's still likable. And
She's very likable.
Giselle's a liar by omission because there's gotta be something. Listen, if there's really nothing going on in Giselle's life as she's showing us on TV, I feel bad for her, and I don't believe it's true. I think she does have things going on, she's just not showing us, so get off the show.
I totally agree with you. I mean, the fact that talking about the cannabis line with Wendy, and when Andy said to Wendy, "Do you think she was sincere when she named it after a Nigerian word that
Yeah, Shio or
Shio, right?" And, her response was, "Listen, that's what she said." But she also said, "Listen, I think she did it to get back at Eddie and I because we brought that out about TJ last year at the reunion." And Giselle's like, "Oh, you think she's like, "I
that's
think she's
smart.
smart. I think she's smart." And Stacy was fine with it, and Wendy was fine with it. And the fact
Right.
that they were both fine with it made me love it even more. The fact that Giselle and Ashley are just like so mad that those two can rise up because that's what Stacy does. Stacy rises up. That's what she does. And I love that. I so love that about her.
Yeah.
I
And
do.
I just feel like Wendy's got all their numbers, but I do feel like Wendy was a little bit of a soldier for Giselle and Ashley this year, a little bit with Angel, but
Yeah.
I will say
Angel
this,
was
and I
coming for
like
her.
Angel. Angel was coming from Wendy out the gate when she was talking about college and, who they knew in common, and so maybe that was a personal thing for Wendy as well.
It was, but I did like that every time Wendy kinda called out Angel on it, Angel owned her part in it,
Yes.
and, she put a little extra dip on her chip. I was like and Andy was, like, "That's a great," and Wendy's like, "Thank you." Like, she owned it. She owned it, unlike Stacey, who owned nothing, but still rose up. She still rises up, Stacey, even though she owns
Yeah.
nothing.
And honestly, Angel can own anything at this point. Giselle and Ashley came off so horrible, mostly Giselle, because I think Ashley kinda got wind of what was going on and softened up at the end. Giselle came off horrible to Angel. Angel can admit to anything right now, and people are still gonna be on her side. They might not want her back, they might not think she's interesting enough to be on this show, but
Mhm.
I don't think anybody can sit here and say that Giselle wasn't horrible to this woman. She was horrible to her. So she can admit to anything right now, she's still gonna come out on top.
I agree. I totally agree. So then Andy says to Wendy, like, how are you been? The fact that you've been on the show half of its life. Like, how do you compare Wendy now to the Wendy that started on the show? And she said, listen, I think that Wendy that started on the show was a little unsure of herself. I actually didn't think she was on. I mean, she does say she had just given birth, and she did, but she did come on strong for someone. She was faking it till she made it, I
She was
think is where she.
overcompensating.
Yep.
Right, faking it until she
Yeah.
made it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And listen, she was, postpartum 2 months. So give the woman a break. Give the woman a break. Of a third child. Like, as a mother of 3 myself, I can't even imagine. I can't
Oh,
imagine,
no. I was a
right?
mess after I had my kids.
But she said, like, it's empowering to go through the transformation. And then Andy brought up, obviously, the elephant in the room, that there's been some serious things happening in your world. He brings up October 9th and the 16 counts of alleged fraud that you are facing. He's like, can you tell us anything about the case? And she said, well, I can say that the investigation is ongoing. I was surprised that she said as much as she did, to be quite honest with
Yeah,
you.
me too. Me too.
We've had court appearances. It has been very trying time for my family. That's when he asked about the children, when she explained about her son Carter and how they came and how they showed up and how she called her mom and sister. But I thought what was surprising is when the other ladies jumped in and Giselle said, so was the nap the reason why the wig was a little like to the side and twisted? And Wendy's like, I don't know why. And then she's like, well, the wig was wigging. And she is like, well, that was her nap wig. And Andy's like, is that a thing? Is there a nap wig? And Wendy's like, no, that was my professor wig. I
So
thought
this
that
is
was
what I
kind of
didn't
funny.
like. Giselle bringing up her wig being crooked, like,
Right.
I feel like Giselle was, and I'm gonna give her a little bit of credit here, I feel like she was trying to lighten the mood a little bit, right? Like,
You
asking
do?
about the wig. I didn't think she was being malicious, quite honestly. I think she
Okay.
was just trying to be like, like, funny, like, lighten it up a little bit. But then Ashley accuses Wendy of talking about jail like it's a joke. Well, your friend over here just set her up for it. Like, I feel like when Giselle brought up the wig being crooked, it kind of like took a little
Yeah,
the stress
I
out of
see
the
that. Yeah.
situation. And I
No,
thought
I
it was a
definitely see
nice
that.
thing that she did. But then Ashley turns
Yeah.
around and accuses her of making it out like jail was a joke. No. And I don't think anybody should be judging Wendy on how she's reacting to any of this. Like, none of us know how we would react. And she's going through it.
I think she set him straight, and she set him straight out because they were talking about her mugshot and the smiling. And she's like, well, the guy was taking my picture. He was being nice to me. He's like, let's try another look. She's like, I was crying. I mean, honestly, I didn't think she was smiling. I thought she looked a little sadistic, to be honest with you.
Listen, I thought she looked high as a kite. I thought they both did.
She said Eddie was sleeping and they woke him up, right? So they woke
Yeah,
him up
Eddie
to
was
take his
high.
picture.
Eddie was high, yeah,
She
and she said
says she was
he was high.
not.
She said she wasn't, but Eddie was, whatever.
Right. But then when, like you said, when Ashley goes for her and says, like, listen, you said, like, how does she wake up in jail? And she's like, no, like when Giselle said, are you okay? She's like, no, I'm not okay. I'm not okay. I spent the night in jail. I am not okay.
I might have to go back.
Right. And they're like, well, where'd you go to the bathroom? Well, there was like they were asking, like, honestly, I thought that she put them in their place. I thought that she handled it well. I thought it was horrible. I thought that Ashley, like you said, coming for her, thinking that she's making light of it. She is just doing the best that she can.
Exactly.
It's not easy, but she showed up and she's here.
Exactly.
Which, by the way, is more than Karen did, because Karen
That's right.
didn't show up. She did
Right.
not show up. I mean, she said she was at rehab, but she had plenty of time to go to rehab. So,
No,
and she also said,
Karen flaked out because she didn't want the smoke that Wendy's getting right now.
Mm-hmm.
Karen couldn't handle the questions. Wendy's handling the questions.
No, I thought she was doing a great job. I really did. Andy does say, like, okay, we're going to move on, but we're going to talk about this a little later on, which, okay. And then he moves on to Stacy, and he's like, it's been a banner year for the QVC queen. Even if the ladies aren't buying what she's selling, he said she will still rise, which I 100% agree.
Totally.
And he shows a bunch of clips of Stacy throughout the season, and he says how he's obsessed with her QVC videos. I am too, by the way. I am too. I did not know that she made it on Vanity Fair's best performances of 2025 list.
Me neither. I think that's amazing, though.
I do too. And Giselle congratulated her.
Yeah, which was monumental.
Yeah. Yeah. And listen, what I did like that she said is she's like, listen, these QVC videos prove that this is who I've been. This is who I've always been. They're like, well, you were doing a job there. You were selling. She's like, this is who I am. And I agree with her. Like, this is who she is. When she shows up.
I understood what she was saying.
Right. I did too.
She's just a positive person.
Right.
She's a glass half full, not half empty. She's going to make the best of a situation. You can shade her. You can insult her. You can do whatever you want. She's not feeding into it. She's not giving you that energy.
Right.
Like, that's just who she is. I understood what she was saying.
I did too. But then Tia brings up that, she heard someone speaking on a plane and she turned around and she found out it was Stacy and she didn't recognize her voice. I thought that was a little shady.
Understand this whole thing between Stacy and Tia, I'll be honest with you. Because even Stacy talking about her accent, I mean, I don't understand this argument. I kind of find it boring.
No, I do too. And I think that Stacy bringing up the accent was just her kind of deflecting about what Tia was saying about her voice.
Yes.
And I think that Stacy was genuine when she brought Tia to meet Timo and Arabella, and she felt like she stabbed her in the back. And that's when I feel like Stacy realized that Tia was working for Giselle.
Yes.
And that's when she changed her opinion of her. And that's when she said, okay, enough is enough. I'm not going to play this game. Like, you don't really want to get to know me. You're here to gather information, as she said, for your master, which I think was, I think that was a tough word, but whatever.
Do too. I didn't think that was a great word to use.
Yeah.
Now, Andy asks, who filed for divorce? Stacy said, I did. And then they showed the pleading, and Timo is listed as the plaintiff. Yep. Clearly, the plaintiff is the one who files.
100%. Yep.
So there's one lie. Like, that's clear as day. Clear as day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it definitely was. I do believe her explanation about why Timo wasn't ready to go meet Eddie and Wendy at that dinner.
Sure.
Like, that made sense to me, right?
Absolutely.
Based on what happened at the reunion last year about TJ and everything that was brought up. And of course he's going to feel a certain way about it. It's his wife now. I mean, it's his ex-wife, but he's trying to get back with her, and he's going to feel a way about it.
And I don't understand, like, what are they trying to accomplish by saying that they're not divorced? Like, that.
Like, what does it matter?
It just doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. A viewer asked Stacy that you seem to have more smoke for Tia at the Shia lunch than you did for Ashley, and Ashley acted way worse to you all season. And he said, do you regret kicking Tia out? And Stacy said no. But she didn't really address the fact that the way Ashley treated her. And I did notice at the reunion, like, Ashley did stick up for her a couple times, and Ashley was sitting next to her.
No.
And I think that maybe her and Ashley right now at that reunion are not in such a bad place.
Right.
I think it could be, after watching the season, it could be, I think, that once Ashley saw Stacy when they were in Colorado and what a good wing woman she could be and how she could be, I don't know, fun. I mean, Stacy can be fun, right? I think Stacy can be fun. And I think Ashley's here for that. I don't know.
I think if Giselle were not on the show, we would be getting a very different Ashley Darby. We would be
I
getting
do
a
too.
very fun, single Ashley Darby showing us more than fake breakups with Josh.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And then, of course, a viewer asks about Stacey denying the cannabis line rumor at the reunion last year when she started one. Again, she
We're
said, listen,
past
nothing
it.
was definite.
Right.
Nothing was definite. Like, why do you even care? Like, why is this even a question? Wendy doesn't have a problem with it. Why does anybody else here?
Right. And like she said, I had a lot of meetings with a lot of different companies. Listen, you're a housewife now. You're a household name. You can do whatever you want. You could do a 3-wick candle. You could do a 2-wick candle.
You
You
sure
can do
can.
whatever you want. So I'm sure she took a lot of meetings.
Yes. Then a viewer from New York said, Giselle, Ashley, and Kay, none of Stacey's alleged lies are about you or affect you in any way. So why are you so pressed? Loved that question. But then Giselle's like, okay, so let's be clear. Like, we heard this information. Did you expect us just not to talk about it? We were in LA. Someone came up to us about the filing.
They're so full of shit. Like, they didn't seek out this person. And I'm sorry, I don't
know.
even believe it
I know.
happened. Like, where is this person? And how come we
Right.
still don't have any proof that that jacked up pleading that they showed or agreement, anybody could have doctored that up. Anybody.
Right.
So where's the real proof that she was paying TJ?
Right.
Venmo, Zelle, deposits.
Something.
Something.
Yeah. Right. Didn't get it. Right. I like that Stacey called them out and said, like, listen, you, especially you women who have been with men who've treated you bad and humiliated you, like, you could have given me grace, like, you've been in my shoes. You
Mhm.
didn't have to come for me. And she was 100% right. And they had nothing to say about that. They didn't. Kay jumped in and said, well, the issue is that you wouldn't own it and you can't be the victim all the time. Okay, Kay, that's kind of rich coming from you, to be honest with you.
Exactly.
Really, Kay?
Exactly. I was kind of low key hoping that Kay showed up with a big old engagement ring on her hand. I
Yeah.
mean, maybe, because that's what I'm hoping for Kay. I'm hoping Greg puts a ring on it off camera for her because then it would be more genuine to me.
I don't think Greg is the right person for her. I'm just saying. Not what I've seen.
I feel like he's just really uncomfortable on camera. I don't think he wants any part of this, especially because he came off the first season he was on, but he could turn it
We'll have to wait and
around.
see.
Turn it around,
Yeah.
Greg. Come on.
Yeah. Andy asked Stacey how she's going to move ahead with these women and gain their trust. And she's like, listen, I just need to be more direct and just say exactly how I feel and not beat around the bush. I was glad that she had an answer for that.
I'm glad she
And
did too, but Andy, how about you ask Giselle why she is so miserable to these women? Look at the
I think he's
past.
going to. I hope
I hope
I
so.
hope he does.
And I hope he brings up Ashley, Katie. They were horrible to Katie, Monique, Candace, now Stacey, and Angel. She's horrible to people who come on this show. Horrible.
She is. She is. And then he asked Angel, like, you came in excited to make new friends and bring your family back here to your roots. And they show us a bunch of clips of Angel. Andy asked Angel where she's currently living. She said she's back and forth between Colorado and Potomac, and they have purchased a home in Potomac. They're currently meeting with the designer that did her house in Colorado, and they're working on how they're going to renovate it and make it what they want. I thought it was interesting when Ashley asked the question about the acres, and Angel said, I don't
It's
remember her
not
exact
30 because
answer.
she goes, is it
It's
32
not,
acres?
she's like, it's not 30, but if you wanted to live in Potomac, you could have acres too. And Ashley's like, well, I chose not to live in Potomac. No, you chose not to live in Potomac because you can't afford it.
Right. And
'Cause to
Angel
get
basically
acres,
said it. Like, I don't believe that.
right, right.
How about Giselle saying Angel did not come on this show to make friends, and she made that very clear?
Yeah, I didn't think that was valid at all, what she said.
It's not valid.
I didn't think it was
She's
valid at all.
horrible. Horrible. I'm sorry. I love Eddie. I love Happy Eddie, but Bobby is the hottest Real Housewife, house husband of Potomac right now. Andy said, how do you feel about Bobby being the hottest?
Yeah, I mean, of course they're not, the ladies cannot agree to that if they have husbands.
Well, I think that Wendy's reaction was, yeah, for sure.
And Tia's
Was
like,
the
no.
right.
And Stacey's like, no. Like they can't agree to it.
Well, I loved it, and Stacey said, I like white chocolate.
I know. And then they ask Andy what kind of chocolate he likes.
Yeah. The darker what do you say? The darker the berry, the sweeter the juice?
That's what he said.
Andy. That's funny.
So then Andy, he brings up Kay and Angel have known each other for almost 20 years, and he wants to clear up the chin check comment. And Kay says, listen, I just want to say to Angel, make sure that she understands, like, I've apologized. I want to make it clear I misspoke when I said those words. I shouldn't have said them. Meanwhile, Giselle is like jumping all over Angel, and Angel's trying to let Kay talk, but Giselle wants Angel to answer. And Angel's like,
Wendy.
listen,
I think it was Wendy. Wendy and Angel were talking because,
you're right, it was Wendy. At that
right?
point, it was Wendy. Yes.
Yeah, because Wendy
Yes, it
leaned
was
over to
Wendy.
Giselle and said, "What kind of friendship is this?"
Yes,
Because
it was
Angel
Wendy.
backed down and said to Kay, "Okay, you finish, and then I'll."
That's right. And she was
Yeah.
just being respectful because Kay was trying to
Apologize,
get it.
basically.
Absolutely. She wanted on the record. Her and Angel already had this conversation. It was already clear for them, but she wanted it on the record. And I don't blame her. I'd want it on the record too with these bitches, right?
Yep.
She wanted it on the record. And it was Wendy who kept trying to say, no, you can talk. I'm talking to you. And she's like, no. When Kay is done, then I will address you. And she did. She let Kay finish speaking. She said, you are correct. When I watched it back, I saw how you could see that my energy changed. And it's because I thought about it, and it's not worth fighting about. It's just not worth fighting about.
I mean, for the love of God, this woman, Angel, comes on this show. She's got Ashley and Giselle coming for her right out the gate. Her only ally is Kay. She's not going to start beef with her now. I mean, that would
Also
just be
postpartum.
foolish.
Also
Right.
postpartum.
Still
newborn.
nursing.
Still nursing.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous.
I mean, Wendy, of all people, actually should have understood that because when
Yes, she
she
should
started,
have.
she was in the same spot. She was in the
Yes,
same
she
spot.
should have.
Then Andy asked Giselle what her intention was bringing up the Photoshop. I do not accept her answer. I don't accept her answer.
She's full of shit.
Yeah.
Full of shit.
She said, I wasn't trying to be shady in any way. Come on. There was nothing but shade in it.
And then she accuses Angel of talking about it the rest of the season. Ashley brought catfish to your jacked up 4th of July in a sweaty ass gym party.
Yes.
So, no,
Yes.
Angel did not keep talking about it. You two heifers kept getting your digs in.
Right. Right.
And then Ashley said it was funny and Angel should learn to laugh. Could you imagine
Exactly.
if this was happening to Giselle? If somebody was doing this to Giselle? If Giselle would just sit back and laugh about it? Come on now.
No, I agree. I totally agree. I mean, then a viewer asked Angel about the comment that she made describing Wendy as having asshole lips and Forrest Whitaker eyes. Angel admitted that it was very harsh, that she was trying to explain it. She was referring to a facial expression. But bottom line is, she admitted it was harsh and she apologized. That's it.
Yeah, and listen, I don't blame Wendy for calling her out. You're getting pissed off at them for calling you a catfish, saying because they're
Right.
clearly saying you don't look like your picture, and that's not a nice. What they're alluding to is not nice. So why would you come after me, my physical features? So she was right,
Right.
but
No,
right,
100%.
Angel owned up to it
She
100%
owned
right
it
away.
and apologized. That's it. That's it. And then the viewers asked Kay and Angel, like watching it back, you understand why the internet gave you the nicknames Madness and Sadness. And Kay said, well, looking back, kind of, but I get along with 85% of the group. So it's not just me and Angel out here on an island, which I was glad that she said that. Because there was a lot of times where it did look like it was just her and Angel out there on an island.
Yeah, for sure.
That's when Andy asked her, Ashley, about the catfish. She told her, you need to laugh. It's good for your soul. But then Andy said, listen, Ashley, I got a stack of questions here about how messy you are. And we just touched the tip of that because he said, if you were asked, like, we usually love your messiness, but something felt different this year. You were mean and downright nasty at times.
She's working for Giselle like Robin used to.
Ashley said, well, whom? Can we elaborate? Angel said, well, to Stacy, to me, to Wendy, like after what went down. And Andy said, yeah, the Zen went in the pen. Like, do you regret that? She's like, well, I apologize for that. She's like, when I saw her mugshot, like I was like smiling and laughing. And I really thought, like, I thought it was a joke. I didn't think it was real. And Wendy's like, well, I got information that it wasn't even about the mugshot, but you had some sort of hidden vendetta against me. Ashley said, There's nothing about a hidden vendetta. I think that there's way
So sorry.
I think there's way more to this. I think that there's something that we don't know yet.
Something's definitely gonna come out. 'Cause
Yeah.
what is this vendetta and what is it based off of? Like, what could
Yeah.
Wendy have possibly have done to Ashley that we don't know about yet?
Yeah. Well, Ashley says, when you first came into this group, you came in like with this air looking down on everybody else in the room. Wendy said, how you view me is nothing to do with me and everything to do with you, which is 100% true.
100% true.
And Ashley said, well, you don't like validate and verify my accomplishments. And Wendy's like, well, what have you accomplished? And Ashley just lost it. She's like, that's bullshit, bitch. That's bullshit. And Ashley's like,
Yeah.
well, I have one social security number.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Ashley said, "I don't vilify my accomplishments," and Wendy said, "That's because you don't have any." And Ashley said, "But I only have one Social Security number."
Yep.
I mean, that was
That was a mic drop, but
a mic drop.
I'm sure she's coming back because next week we see that Karen arrives. We see that Jassie's there. Monique is out. They asked Stacy if she's dated Chris Samuels. She said, no, that's not true. And then Monique says, let me show you this.
Shit.
But we don't know what it is, so we have to wait and see, what happens next week. But
So we're gonna see more blatant lies
binders.
from Stacy.
Maybe.
I still like her.
I'm not ruling it out, but I'd still have her back.
I still take her over Giselle any day.
Yeah, I don't know. Listen, as far as first episodes of reunions go, I don't think it was bad, to be honest with you. I don't.
It was all right.
I mean, we got a little bit of everybody in there.
Yeah, that was the good part. They didn't heavily focus on one person for too long. That was the good part because that can be exhausting.
Yeah, I guess it's 3 parts. I don't know. I imagine that it is.
I think that's the formula they've been going with lately.
I imagine Karen will be at the end, at the 3rd part. And we never discussed her one-on-one with Andy. I figure we'll wait until we see what she says at the reunion and see if there's anything that we find out additional about that. But I don't expect that we will. I really don't.
No,
But we'll
and the
wait and
interview
see.
was very unremarkable.
I agree.
There
It's
wasn't
totally
anything.
unremarkable.
I mean, it's still Karen. I would be curious to see if they brought Charisse out to talk about the whole son with Ashley because she acted one way on the show and then she backstepped, I think, once she saw fans' reactions to it. But I don't think we're going to see Charisse this reunion.
I don't think we are either. And honestly, I don't think she knew the extent of it when we saw her on the show. I don't think she did.
I
And
still think her reaction was based off of fans' responses.
no, I
I
mean,
feel like her 180 was based off of fans' reactions to
I
her
just think
reaction.
about as being a mom of sons and me finding out that one of my girlfriends was sleeping with one of my sons.
We're
I
done.
mean, right.
We're done.
More than that.
I don't even
I
have
mean,
to know that you had sex with him. Just the fact that you looked at him in that way, we're done.
yeah. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I don't know. And Ashley's so unbothered by it. That's what bothers me about it, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
She doesn't think that she did anything wrong.
Nope.
We're both adults. Okay, yeah, you are both adults. Yes, you are. But do you know what a boundary is?
Listen, you put energy out into the world, and this is the energy you're getting back. So you have 2 sons. So think about that when you make decisions, how you move.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I try to live my life.
No, I agree. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
it was all right, though. I do like the set.
It was.
I don't normally
I like the
notice.
set too.
Yeah, I don't normally notice things, but because you and Lori always have an opinion about it, I'm like, all right, let me try to pay attention. I like this set.
I did too. All right. So until next time, thank you for watching and listening. Please subscribe and give us 5-star reviews. Bye.
Bye.